The growth of trade and urbanization is going to be perpetuated by this empire of Alexander that's going to spread throughout Central Asia. Harbors are going to be improved for the movement of goods, especially along the Mediterranean. This empire encourages industry and has an explosive population. Remember, when everybody is on one page, and you'll see this throughout history, when everybody's on one page, you can foster profitable trade, and you will have explosive growth in populations because you don't have war. If there's more people under your umbrella, you're not going to fight. All these countries are not going to fight like they used to because they're all part of a larger empire. The city's importation of Greek officials and soldiers. A lot of Greek soldiers are moving into these cities. Alexandria, as I said, is going to become the capital of Egypt and the capital of knowledge. And of course, wealth and poverty. Whenever you have an expansion or explosion of growth and wealth, you also have an explosion of poverty. And when you have an explosion of poverty, there's always more poor than there are wealthy, right? And when that happens, what happens? Unrest. It's always going to be a problem. Alexander founded about 70 cities along his way, new cities. And his heirs, these three generals, are going to build about 200 additional cities, all in the Greek world. 200, all in the Greek world. And as the cities grew, Hellenism grew. What are the additional effects of this new empire? The culture became more Greek-like, as we just said. The shift, and this is important, this is very important. There's the shift in the polis. The polis. No, not only is the polis, these city-states, thinking locally, right? Not only is the Greek polis, like Athens, the polis of Athens, Sparta, thinking locally, but they're thinking cosmopolitanly, cosmopolis. More along the lines of what is best, not only for Athens, but for the empire. And there was a magazine, Cosmopolitan, that was not that. The citizens, during this cosmopolitan type stage, as the empire grows, the bureaucracy grows, the citizens are going to start to lose control of the government. Which is going to upset a lot, obviously. People lost their identity. No longer are people identifying with, as the empire grows and the polis becomes cosmopolitan, people are losing their identity. No longer are they just human. They're now Greek, Hellenistic. But what does that mean? Because all of these people identified with what? Their own polis. Now they're being asked to identify with a large empire, but they do not know what that means. It's like the American Civil War that we lived in the 60s. Prior to that, everybody identified in this country with their own little state. I'm Pennsylvania, you're Virginia, you're Mississippi. Everybody identified with their own state. Nobody was really talking about the U.S. as us. Then along comes the Civil War. After the Civil War, now we're thinking more cosmopolitan. It's no longer am I a Virginian, but now I'm an American. That's what the Civil War, one of the legacies, as far as nationalism goes, the Civil War made Americans think of themselves as Americans, not as Pennsylvania, Bostonian, as the real cities. And that's what this empire is doing. But it's also fostering new thought. Whenever you have this disruption of traditions, remember, Greeks love tradition, loved holding on to the past. Whenever you have a disruption of this, you have to explain it. We've seen it all the way back, first day of class. Remember when we said when these cavemen, using the term like the Neolithic humans, came out of their caves, looked up at night, they tried to justify their existence, right? They tried to explain what they were seeing and what was happening around them. They did it on cave walls, right? Painted pictures of paintings on cave walls of people getting killed by bulls. And they made this Venus figures, right? Anytime something happens drastic, people are trying to explain it. Whether it's a plague and God didn't like us, or what. Now this cosmopolitanism is spreading. Greek language, Greek culture, Greek life is not only spreading but affecting other cultures, but it's also affecting the polis locally. So up comes this concept of Epicureanism and Stoicism. Two new ways of thinking about your existence. Both are going to be very individualistic, which is going to go against what? People are going to start to think individualistic, which is going to go against what Socrates and Plato were saying. You have to do what's right for the polis. Put your own individualism aside. During the 1950s, beginning of the Cold War in history, the United States had just, and depending on who you talk to, the United States had just won World War II by itself. Vietnam bomb, blah, blah, blah. So, we had this big victory. Men both come home, and leave jobs and everything. But what's going to happen is, in this new nuclear age where destruction is imminent at any second, you could be blown up. And that's literally what they were thinking. That's what the government in this country was selling to the citizens, to keep everybody fearful of the Soviet Union. We could be bombed at any minute. People turned inward. The family. This is where you had not only the nuclear family, as in father, mother, and children, but you had the nuclear family as afraid of nuclear war, nuclear destruction. People turned inward in this new world, this new hot war, this new Cold War era. People turned inward. They never had this sense of destruction, imminent destruction. So the family became the universe for everybody. Dad was the leader of the family. This is where the home is a castle. The father was the leader of the family, and then you had the mother who stayed home with the kids, and then you had the kids. And this is people thinking individual. What's good for the family? What's good for me? Not necessarily what's good for the state. Because you have the state thinking what's good for the state. They're going to tell me what they want me to do, what they want me to do. I don't need to worry. Big brother's going to take care of it. I'm going to take care of my own little life. Kingdom. And that's what's happening here. When this world turned upside down, people are turning inward. Everybody with me on that? These are the Stoics and the Epicurists. They're trying to cope with the fragmented world. So, the Stoicism, it's founded by Zeno of Citium. He's saying that the cosmos is ordered and rational, nothing new. There's this clock, and it was created by this creator, and it's ordered and rational. He's saying the individual is not the master of his own life. He's part of a greater plan. So don't try to fight it. You can look inward and examine your life, but at the end of the day, realize that you're just part of, you're just a leaf in the stream. So they're emphasizing tranquility of mind. Adapt to it. Get used to it. It's going to be a lot better if you just surrender yourself to your destiny. A destiny that you really have no control over. Live the life that God planned for you. Don't fight. That's what the Stoics are saying. They're also saying be virtuous and participate in society and do what's right for the polis. But don't be a doctor when you can only be an accountant. You're not in that drug. Don't fight your destiny. The Epicureans, however, they're going to be the guys surrounded by Epicurus. They're going to be the ones that say, withdraw from the world, withdraw from public life. It's okay. Less is more. Less personal goods, the more happiness. They're going to emphasize fewer personal goods. The fewer goods you have, the better off you are. But still, the highest good is pleasure, not material goods. The highest good is pleasure. Drink, eat, drink, be merry. Because you only go around once. That's what's going to make you happy. The serenity of the soul is key to the Epicurus. And they're saying there is no true justice. Man will never know true justice. So they're casting off, the Epicureans are casting off wealth, power, for personal experience, pleasure, personal pleasure. Who would you want? Epicurus or Stoic? So these are two threads of thought that are coming out of this new cosmopolitan attitude of the empire, that focusing on the individual specifically. Which is a departure from the philosophies of Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle, which say you must aspire to foster the polis, the greater good.
Are they philosophers?
Yes, they're philosophers. They're philosophers, and they're introducing this new trend of thought. Then there's also the skeptics. It didn't go very far. There is no true knowledge. True happiness can only be achieved by accepting the fact that we can never know truth. You've heard this before. It comes through a little bit of the Epicurus as well. The cynics, the skepticism is also going to reject material culture. It's a very fine line between them and studies. But religion is seen as a vehicle for escape. Whether it's skepticism, stoicism, Epicureanism, or religion, the belief in preaching to a god or gods, they're all vehicles for escape. Ways of people to again rationalize and accept this new empire and what it's being asked, what it's asking people to do. And there's a lot of these mystery cults which emphasize the individual. And they're going to borrow heavily from the Egyptians. Remember, Egypt, even though it's like a separate entity within the empire after Alexander's death, is going to have a huge influence on other parts of the empire. So we're going to appeal, a lot of people, a lot of these mystical culture are going to pull from the Osiris, and Isis, and a lot of these Egyptian cults, Egyptian religions. Arthurianism has Persian origins. It's going to be very similar to Christianity in that it has one God. One God. But they're all ways of people reconciling this new world order, this new change. More architecture. This is what the lighthouse of Alexandria is supposed to We have we have an example very close by. This is the Masonic Temple, Washington Masonic Temple, in Alexandria. Everybody familiar with this? Yeah. You've seen it? It's patterned after the lighthouse. This is the altar to Zeus, Agamemnon. This is in German. Here is the Acropolis, which is all of this, and then Pantheon, which is a third part. These are the goddesses, group of gods. This is the Acropolis. Their architecture is led through. This is, anybody know where this is?
I want to say
Well, I've actually found the same thing.
Great.
It's Philadelphia. This is the Philadelphia Art Museum. Remember Rocky?
Oh, yeah.
And this is the boathouse. These are the boat. Philadelphia's fountain. These are the boathouses. But this is Philadelphia Art Museum. See, look at the resemblance. And there are the columns that we talked about right there. The different columns and Temple of Zeus and Aphrodite here. So sculpture. Now, well, what I'm getting at here is this, because of the empire, because of Alexander and this empire, these things spread. This is in Italy here. This is in Italy. These are in Greece. But these things spread throughout the empire because of Alexander. And sculpture, more extreme naturalism, extravagance, the dying Gaul, winning victory of Samothrace and Nebula. And here's the dying Gaul. This is actually the dying Gaul that we all know. This was just in DC back in March. It's an Italian. This is an Italian copy of the Greek version. This was just in at the Smithsonian Art Museum. So the first time it was outside of Italy in 80 years. It went back. The dying Gaul. Look how realistic this is. This is the winning victory. This is Raccoon and his sons drawn in by the serpent. Much more realistic than the past. And here's this evolution of Greek art over 300 years. Now look, the Greeks originally pulled from Egyptian art forms. See the resemblance? Egyptians were big on the quarter of the sand. Guy standing, they're only seeing like 3/4, and you understand like this. You see it in their paintings, you see it in their sculptures. And the Greeks took that concept as well. But then they started to evolve into more realistic sculptures until we get to these bronzes of the Hellenistic age. So, again, here, Kyros, 530 BC, and then King Makinor and his queen, 2510 BC. They're pulling through, they're emulating Greek art from 1,500 years before. Very realistic again, with the eyes. This is a Roman copy of the flag. This is Poseidon. It's the Roman version of Neptune and Poseidon. Neptune, the Greek god, Poseidon, the Roman god. Same thing. Science and medicine, Mesopotamian, Egyptian science. This is the beauty of Alexandria. Alexandria fostered knowledge, fostered learning, and developed new concepts of science and the body. Early physiological experiments were done on the body, and corpses like that were done in Alexandria. Astronomy, mathematics, all things that this empire helped foster. remember, they're not only trading in goods, I said this many times before, they're not only trading in commodities and goods, but they're trading in knowledge and learning. Very important. It's very important we have a group of people on the same page who can trade this stuff. One of the beauties of the internet spans what? It spans these cultural restraints. There's a lot of research out there on the internet as a virtual community and as imagined communities. Facebook, for instance. Is it a community or is it not? Is it a polis? Is Facebook a polis? You all, I mean, for those of you on Facebook, you have friends, and you're creating a community. You're creating your own polis. People who probably think like you. Is there dissent within the polis? What do you do with people who dissent on Facebook? Excellent. Vanished. So it's an imagined community. It's a polis. Does anything good come out of these polis? Is Facebook poli? Yes? I don't know.
Could be.
The result of Facebook can be good because you can connect with people that's really powerful.
Connect with people, but what good is what other good is coming out of do you do
you
things?
share different kind of stuff and you learn and get mentored.
You're exchanging ideas, right?
Exactly.
So these imagined communities, these imagined poles, but astronomy, mathematics, geography, medicine, physics, and that's the transformation from polis to Hellenistic, or from polis to cosmopolis, from Hellenic to Hellenistic. It's all breaking down traditional values, which the Greeks did not. Do this chapter. Oh, your mark is set to go. So, I told you, this is a 15-week course crammed down into, 13 weeks, less than. So, open your mouth. Shove it in. No, but you need to read your book. This is why it's important to read your book. I'm not saying it's not important. You should read your book. Read about these words. I mean, this is what these types of courses are about. We're going to get a little bit more into the weeds when we start talking about Rome. Anyway, cosmopolitan, this period of time, Greek thought, Greek literature, Greek became pretty much worldwide as far as it's concerned. This is the world. And when we start talking about Rome next week, it's going to be the Romans who pull this into our culture. All right? Alexander spreads it, the Romans will pick up that ball and pull it. Okay? It's going to be, no. So the Romans take it. It's going to be Alexander's hundred ball. The Romans will pick it up, run it across. I hope I got that football. Yes, they love Greek. That's it. Then they emulated the gods and architecture and everything. Any one of these subjects, you could do one course on it. Whole 15 weeks on the television course. So you're being asked to learn a paragraph or 10. So that's the problem. I gotta teach it. How about you come over on this? And I feel bad.
I would forward.
Neither am I. So, yeah, they have some, but it's not really.
Yeah.
You can do, okay, so let's. Eternal life from Egypt. Okay. There's that, let's just look at these. There's from Egypt. That's all something on that. And what you can do is like some artifacts from that. Or, you know, if you want to go to another piece of learn like Roman or let's just say virtual. The stones, yeah, that's not really much. That's what we're looking at, right?
might have that, so, you know? Like, no, they should see the real, the operation, that's the day that even the provost was like, everything was good. I said, we didn't come like good or this. We're waiting for the we have 110. Another 6 is right here, the information. Very, very good. David, yeah, David is
Okay.
stool's taking way too long. finally over. Shabis too strong. I'll see you guys in the next duel.